This is the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Let's go nuts! It's Jimmy Nuts! Right out of the door!
With your hosts, Mark Martinez.
Because I'm the Mark and I'm awesome!
The Guru.
Today I'm going to break it down for all you simpleton sweat hogs listening out there in Can Crusher Nation. I don't mean to come out here week after week and toot my own horn, but toot.
And the English Professor.
It is I, the English professor from the County of Kings, speaking the English of the Queen.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke, the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
And happy Easter, everybody, from Can Crushers. I hope the Easter Bunny brought you guys some great candy. I am your host, Mark the Mark Martinez, in studio, the soon-to-be updated studio, the glorious one, Chad Piranha, and welcome back from spending time with your family, English Professor. Gentlemen, how's your Easter been so far?
Quiet. Thank God. Threatening the kid with beating Have, or you're not getting anything for Easter.
I got candy.
Did you?
I did, yeah. From the Easter Bunny. Yeah. I was a good kid. Why not?
Right? You're a good kid.
Yeah.
I'll fast forward through mine real quick. I have had 3 Easters. Well, today I'll have one more, but 3 Easters this year. Friday, we had some friends invite us up, so I did some Easter there with them. The kids all colored some eggs. First time in, I don't know. E and I never were big egg colorers or anything like that, so we colored eggs with one of his friends and one of my buddies. Shout out to the McDermotts. They had us up for a 12-hour shift after the garbage run of drinking some adult beverages and egg coloring. Last night, we had my aunt.
You didn't call Kelly any more bad names,
No,
did you?
I was nice. I was very nice. Kelly would say I was well behaved after putting in a 12-hour shift. Had my aunts, so I ate a boatload of ham there. Still bloated from that. And then here, as soon as we get done doing this, head over to the mother-in-law's to see if I can add about 50 more pounds to my life. Easter hurts me because, one, I love candy. I love me some ham.
Yeah, I hear you. I do too.
That would be me too. Same here. Yeah, we're not like very fucking lively. Kind of like the way wrestling was this week.
You guys didn't have anything going on this week. You're a working man now, so I know you don't get to do cool stuff.
Sold a lot of fishing shit this week.
Cool.
That was about it. Yeah.
You're boring anymore. English Professor, we didn't talk to you last week, so we don't know what's up. I know you guys spent time with Dom. Is he made it safely to Texas? We talked about him. We love him.
Yeah, he moved. He's all settled in there. Some good news he shared with me about possible test he's going to take, and hopefully, because he lived there years ago, hopefully he'll be able to pick up where he left off with the company where he worked for a number of years. Guys, I had COVID-19, which is why I wasn't on last week. Mark said he wanted to leave that up to me, whether I wanted to say anything or not, so which is why he didn't tell you guys last week. But I finally left my room today, Sunday, Friday. I still feel wiped out is the easiest way to put it. I could all those memes with the baby says I sleep here now or whatever, and she falls asleep in the sand, like right by the ocean. She still sleeps through. I could sleep through that. Yeah, I could.
I take a nap right here.
Exactly.
Good night.
Those. Yep, I could just fall asleep anywhere right now.
Would it be wrong of us to tell him he looks like shit too, or should we leave that out?
You can.
Not horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit lower than normal, but nothing bad. I mean, he's jammied up. He's ready. It's all right.
Yeah.
So during your COVID time, you really didn't watch a lot the first week. So you wouldn't have brought anything to the table last week at all.
No, I would not have brought anything to the table last week. I was stuck in my room. Again, NXT is almost immediately available on the network, which we need to talk about the network today too, guys. There's some important stuff going on there. But, AEW, if I don't catch it Wednesday nights, I don't catch it because I don't have a whole lot of VCR tapes to throw in the VCR.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you still don't know what a DVR is.
No, I don't. I wonder if that would work, though. I wonder if the VCR tape in the old VCR would work. No.
Because it's gonna record channel 3.
Yeah.
And everything is from your HDMI and this and that, and your channel 3 is just the hub for your cable, essentially. It's digital now, John. It's no more analog.
I'll tell you where I am winning, though. Let's talk about DVDs and what is captured on DVDs that I have. Let's talk about a little technology and what's going on in the world of the network. Before we hop into the whole week of wrestling, why don't we lead with that? Is that okay?
That's fine.
I think that's where we're going.
Technology has me choked up, so I don't know where you're going with this, so go ahead.
Well, my point is, guys, we have talked about this, that the network is going to change. The WWE Network is undergoing an overhaul, and it will be borderline unrecognizable. And, Mark, you are the biggest fan I know, and it's even got you wondering, like, is this worth it? They've sold their soul to the devil. They have sold out. They just said, give us our $1 trillion, and we don't give a shit what you guys do with this thing.
Essentially, Chad has a lot of backstory in this. I said right before coming on air, I'm a sucker for the live shows. So $10 a month for the live shows, yes, you got me. But I don't know. Like, I don't know anymore if I would have bought Peacock going forward knowing this. Now, Peacock has me sold on other things. Yellowstone, The Office.
Everybody hates Chris.
Young Rock, Everybody Hates Chris. All those shows, they can take my money for that every month. The WWE is the added bonus to it right now. If I catch, and I'm lying saying that I'm not going to watch live events, but they're on. So, cool. I get WWE Network with my Peacock subscription, is the way I put it. I didn't buy it for that, essentially, at this point in my life.
I don't understand where they're going with this. Their statement was basically, we don't give a shit. When it was brought up about all the editing, everything from crotch chops to, Michael Hayes and his Confederate flag, and I mean, they're just taking everything or anything out that can be offensive. Rick Rude in his tights. I mean, okay, the one with Cheryl Roberts on his crotch was kind of fucking funny to me, but they're taking everything out. This is the network. If you don't want the live events, don't get it for wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, if you even said if the other stuff wasn't on Peacock that you liked in that, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I probably no.
It's just not fucking worth it. And it's like you're losing the stuff that brought people to the network. It most certainly was not the live events, because WWE hasn't put on a really good event in fucking years.
Touche.
And watching the old stuff, watching the early Survivor Series,
my Royal Rumble,
the main events, the Rumbles. I found on there they talked about
the only version available of the first 2 Crockett Cups was on there. Mid-South, all the independent stuff that they bought up. Gone.
And you're sure of this, like you guys know this, that a lot of this stuff is just gone.
Yeah. They are going through WWE bit by bit and editing them first. By the time they go through the last 30 years of stuff,
yeah, bro,
then the other stuff is not on there. Shut up.
No, I'm just...
Okay, fucking Riddle. That's another one.
That wasn't even for that. No, John, they have taken... We were at this live event. It was... I believe it was a Raw.
It was.
In State College when DX came out as the Nation of Domination. That was, to this day, one of my favorite segments in wrestling because they just were complete idiots. It was, they weren't supposed to be there. They came out and did that shtick for us. It's gone. See you. Yeah. That's just it, and it hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, and just to be real, guys, if you don't know the segment we mean, D-Generation X came out making fun of the Nation, and they came out painted. And, I mean, if you look at X-Pac, Triple H I found funny, pretending to be The Rock. If you look at X-Pac, trying to be Mark Henry, trying to talk like him, was it offensive? Yeah, I guess. It was also the 90s. I can tell you guys looking around, maybe you just get caught up in the moment. It was at State College, major university. There were young people of every walk of life. I swear to you guys, every walk of life having a good time.
Yep.
So there's my little bit of social commentary. But, yeah, the one thing you could say about wrestling, even today, is to a certain extent is they preserve history. Even if you don't like the history. Even when 3-time Intercontinental Champion meant something, and now you've got 11-time Intercontinental Champions.
This year.
They kept track of that stuff. And they're still going to keep track of that stuff. But my point is there's just stuff that they kept track of that they won't anymore. It's going away. I don't know if that's permanent. I don't know if it's just going to be out there floating in the clouds somewhere forever, or if it's just gone. I guess we'll find out with time. But I'm a little bummed. Wrestling is not politically correct. It never has been.
You're going to get a lot of that stuff that people want to watch on YouTube because the YouTubers can still post whatever they, essentially post whatever they want. If you want to report a YouTuber, clearly you can report a YouTuber if you feel the need that you don't like what they put up or whatever. But if you don't want to watch wrestling or something like that, you probably shouldn't follow that YouTuber then. That's on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of this is changing. And you talked about DVDs, John. I had been the one, and VHS tapes, because you were still there. I am now, there's a plate of crow in front of me, because there's going to be times that I'll be like, dude, I want to borrow that DVD of whatever that you have, because I want to saw this segment. Jesus Christ, Mark. I want to see this segment, and you have it. I'm paying $9.99 a month, and I don't get that anymore. So you are investing in DVDs again now.
And as it was captured is how it is on the DVD.
But are they going to do that though? Like, I know they do pump out some DVDs here and there. Are they selling those under WWE? Or does Peacock get some of that too? Because they come out a month or two later.
I would say it'd have to. I mean, and I haven't seen anything talked about as far as the DVD content, because that's something that they're putting out. They're still you can go a month or two later to Walmart, like you said, and by fucking end of May, WrestleMania will be there.
Right. In a 35-pack set that you get everybody's entrance 6 different ways. Yes.
a paper signed copy of the 24/7 title by fucking the Easter Bunny or Bad Bunny or Bugs Bunny or whatever the fuck he is. I don't think it's gonna be edited, but that's a good point. I haven't seen a damn thing come out about what's going to happen to the DVDs and that.
Right.
You can't pause it or fucking rewind or anything on Peacock.
Nope.
So.
No.
And what becomes of the app then? Because the app on the WWE app on my phone has the network. Is that part of it will just be
done? That app is that part of it. Yeah. Is gone, and the WWE app is just going to be kind of like the store again. And so I got rid of it. Once I got Peacock, I got rid of it. I have not even taken the app off of, might as well take it off of the PlayStation and, the TV and stuff too, because I won't be using it. I'm sure on TVs it'll probably just disappear itself, because
I know as of Thursday it was still up and running.
As of today, it was still on my Roku, too, when I watched.
Well, I actually was watching stuff on the WWE Network as of Thursday. Okay. It's actually supposed to drop off.
I thought it was the first.
Today, but, But, somebody said, it's still online or whatever in one of the groups that I am on Facebook about it. Then I went on and I can't remember what the hell I watched. I think I put an old WrestleMania up or something.
He's trying right now on his phone.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It's still showing everything. It's still showing. There's WCW, ECW, territories. If I click on AWA.
How can you... Live right now, you're going through this and making it through easily that you can find everything. But when we did watch arounds and watch backs, you couldn't find anything over a week in the making. Now
maybe his sickness awoke something in his brain. Like, what was that fucking movie where the light come out and the guy was all smart and could read shit so quickly?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
What?
The guy, it was, never mind. Just talk. I'll remember it.
Okay. So you're finding stuff is what you're saying.
Yeah. Mid-Atlantic TV champion Ron Bass teams up with Jay Youngblood in tag team action. And then Roddy Piper leads Abdullah the Butcher into action against Ron Ritchie. Plus Sergeant Slaughter, Jake Roberts, and more. So, I'm looking at Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from 1981 right now. I could click on it and watch it. So the network itself is still as it is for the time being.
Yeah.
But in big letters, it reminds you, you're not going to be able to watch WrestleMania here.
Yeah.
As soon as you open the app, it tells you don't even think about watching WrestleMania here.
Stop! It's never going to be on this one. And we'll talk about WrestleMania. Next week's show, guys, we have a lot to take care of. We really do, but I guess that's something that we're going to have to put a pin in and talk about how we're going to cover it, because essentially WrestleMania, the first night will happen by the time we do the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we reconvene and do a whole recap on Monday, maybe, because why talk about one half of a shitty WrestleMania when you can talk about both halves of the shitty WrestleMania in the same show?
Good point. Yeah.
Damn movie was the one with John Travolta.
Grease.
No.
Oh.
The one where he could read the books so
Michael?
quick. No. John Travolta.
Boogie Nights.
No.
Oh, yeah, the one.
Saturday Night Fever.
You learn the Portuguese language? He goes, well, not all of it. Like, you learn the whole language in
an hour.
Half an hour.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
No, shut up, jackass.
I'm naming every John Travolta movie that he's... Rhinestone Cowboy. No.
Good Lord.
Am I out? You guys are both sick of me already. Wrestling was busy this week, right?
It sure was.
All right. We're really gonna stay on this.
Well, we'll keep talking.
Well, you guys are talking John Travolta. Neither one of you guys, so I'll go right now. I did take some time and I watched NWA Power. Okay, I did watch that. You guys have not subscribed yet. I do want to know. I do want to let you both know. You know how for a year we beat on NWA Power because they didn't have the Mongolian flag hanging up in the rafters by the other flags? It's up now.
Phenomenon.
I was just going to say that. Phenomenon. Yeah.
I've never heard of that movie.
Really? That was a nice movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
One says nice, one says great. So I would probably be in the middle and go,
Well, it's not a typical Travolta movie. It's
Grease,
actually a good movie.
Boogie Nights, Saturday Night Fever.
Okay, let's get back to wrestling. You're going to get slapped here yet in the first half hour.
Those are good John Travolta movies. Pulp Fiction is my favorite John Travolta movie. No. You didn't like Pulp Fiction?
No.
It's all right. I'm with Chad. It was just, I don't get the hype.
Yeah.
I just did this. That's why. Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
So the Mongolian flag is hanging in the NWA studio right now. I like that. We're building some people up. There's a new national champion. Is Chris Adonis. John knows him as Masterpiece, Chris Masters, because he doesn't know who Adonis is. I'm sure he doesn't. He had to change his name. He's right now hanging around Strictly Business since Royce Isaacs isn't in the NWA anymore. So it's Aldous, Latimer, Camille, and maybe Adonis right now. A great women's match that Thunder Rosa was part of, brought up some of her students. They're going to let her use this platform for some of her students. I like that. Do you guys remember Darren Young from the Primetime Players? He is he's on the show now. Fred Rosser, I believe that's his real name. So he's there. We talked about Tyrus a little bit last week. Chad and I talked about him. Brodus Clay just rough.
Not mobile.
Not mobile. Velvet Sky is doing some announcing with him now. I do have to say one thing. Austin Idol is with Tyrus. Tim Storm and Joe Galley don't get to talk when Austin Idol is out there talking. Literally just steals the show, and it's not good. I might as well just tell you about this picture 6 times, 6 different ways. He doesn't get a point across.
He old school babbles. He's still stuck back 40 years ago, and he's got the gift for gab, but he just not in today's. You can't just babble shit.
He had to make sense. Like Galley and Tim Storm were like, okay, you could hear them sighing, going like, what in the hell is he trying to get across? And he gets I think he gets a lot of the show now, or is actually involved a lot more. I think he's doing a lot more sponsorships, kind of pushing the NWA because he's the school for the NWA and stuff like that. I bet you I'm not sure, but I bet you he's got some money in now to the NWA or something like that. He's a great manager. He would do perfect. He doesn't need to be on the mic every week.
Kind of like Michael Cole.
Yeah, kind of like Michael
I never thought I'd hear somebody that was as fucking bad as Michael Cole is as an announcer. Austin Idol.
Horrible. But, guys, check it out. You can subscribe to it on the Fight app, or if you have the Roku, it's on that. You get all NWA Power for $4.99 a month, and you can watch them. It's 4 hours, essentially, so you get 4 shows for $5. That's this round. I was actually happy watching it because I love the whole studio thing. A couple new faces that, we have to build the NWA back up again. Couple old people that shouldn't be there, but I'm giving it its due. To me, it's another reboot for them with people that I know now. I'm going to give them time to build it back up to where they were prior to pandemic, because they were hot, guys, right? They were hot.
They were the best thing going. I mean, okay, we can joke and say, well, wrestling's been shitty for a while, but they were really good going in. I mean, we were pumped for the
Crockett Cup,
Aldous and Skrull rematch. fucking Storm and who's
Eli Drake.
Eli Drake were the NWA champs. Everything was just going good, and then they got a severe baby kick right in the balls.
What the hell is a baby kick?
You ever have a baby kick you in the balls? Did you ever get a glancing little kick in the balls?
Oh, yeah.
And then a fucking, yeah. I say baby kick in the balls. Oh, cute little baby, and then he clips you in the nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather full-on get kicked from one of you in the balls than just somebody come up and do that little flick in the left testicle. That flick hurts a lot more than the full-on kick.
It lasts a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you said about the NWA, I agree with you. Yeah, and that's well said. Giving it a chance to let it reboot and
it'll get us going again. It really will.
Yeah.
The first Power was still I don't want to say lingering but that's what I'm going to say. It was kind of the lingering of question mark Josephus. They were kind of still doing stuff without mentioning him and everything. So this was the first one that they're like, all right, let's just get into storylines, and I think it was good. I like Trevor Murdoch, don't get me wrong. But I think it was good just to change the title that quick to get some momentum and get some talking about it. So,
Something else that indirect with the NWA coming back in. See the interview with Nick Aldis from the past week. He was on, I can't remember what the talk show was, and it was brought up about wrestling Kenny Omega, and he had been approached about wrestling Omega from AEW. He wouldn't name the people, management that approached him. He's like, make it worth my while. He's not in my league. I fucking teared up on that and clapped my hands as loud as I could. Fuck Kenny Omega.
Nice.
Let's see Aldis kick his ass.
One more thing before we dive into the wrestling that we all have watched. It's baseball season. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Thursday, I got home. It was opening day, and Kelly was off Thursday. She's waiting for me by the door. I gave her a kiss, pushed her out of the way. I went to the TV just in time to see Miggy hit the first home run of the year in a blizzard and then slid into second base because he didn't see it go over the wall because it was snowing that hard in Detroit.
Yeah.
Then everybody's like, dude, get up. It was a home run. Oh. And that's Miggy. That's why my dog's named after him, because they are both the same people. My dog and Miguel Cabrera. Mentally the same. Go ahead.
I've watched two games. I watched opening day, and then I watched game 2 of the Yankees and Blue Jays on Saturday. And I don't know what time they play today. If
Probably
it's another
1:05.
1 o'clock game. Yeah.
Thursday I watched the entire Tiger Cleveland game. 3-0 till the 9th inning. This guy gives up a 2-run home run. I'm like, well, here's the Tigers coming again. Going to lose it after they have a lead the whole day. They ended up winning. Switched over, did watch some of the Yankees. Switched over, finished watching the Pirates with Kelly. Switched over, watched the Padres pick up their win. Switched over and then watched the Rangers and the Royals put up like 24 runs in the first day. I put in a whole day of work watching baseball from 1 to 9. And then I'm like,
Nice.
I better go to bed because the next game only starts at 10 o'clock and I still had to go to work Friday. But
It's the greatest sport. It's the greatest sport. You had a friendly bet with me because on opening day, the Pirates, Tigers, and Orioles all won. And you said that won't happen again. And on Saturday, it almost did. The Tigers won again. The Orioles beat the Red Sox again. The Pirates hung in there with the Cubs, but I think they lost 5-1. Those are 3 bad teams. For them to all win on the same day is, I don't know, there's a lot of science and whatever going on in the universe.
You didn't get to watch a game yet. You're a Mets fan.
Have not watched the game. Not paying a lot of attention, I'll be honest with you, getting back into work, and even though it's a few hours and stuff, it's kind of
on the back burner.
Yeah, watching baseball at the beginning of the season. One thing I got to bring out, a side note, baseball kind of, I don't want to say broke tradition, but due to the voter law that was passed in Georgia, the MLB has pulled the All-Star game and that from Atlanta.
Yeah.
The draft, too, is going to be there.
In the draft. And it's like, regardless of what you think, and if you read what the actual law is, there shouldn't be that big of a fucking deal made about it, in my opinion. But that part of it aside, this is going to set a precedence for other sports.
Oh yeah.
And I'm afraid it's a bad thing, because this is the thing of right along the lines with the fucking network. Everybody gets offended, slightest little fucking things.
Right.
So what happens if, one of these court cases for police brutality or something, if they don't get convicted, are they gonna pull some fucking game or something, from that state? Or
right? I don't know. It's early for me to say anything. I don't know. It's early to really give my real opinion. I read about it. I'm like, but all right. We've rambled for 30 minutes. We did talk about a little bit of wrestling, and John's DVD collection. So let's dive into, because we can take care of Raw and SmackDown rather fast and then cover the rest of the stuff in the second segment.
John should be happy. Extremely happy. Charlotte Flair is not pregnant.
She is not.
Oh.
Have you seen this,
Nope.
John, this whole thing at all that's going on with her? She was told by WWE doctors, they doing whatever testing that they do on them, not COVID testing.
Right.
Hey, did you know that you're pregnant? And she's like, what the fuck? Yeah, you're pregnant. They immediately pulled her from WrestleMania. She goes home, like 3 days later, takes like a half a dozen fucking pregnancy tests. Each one of them come back negative. She's not in WrestleMania. That's the story.
Right. We got a week yet. Don't worry.
I was thinking that, today they got a week to get her in there one way or another. But
so you think they screwed this up? You don't think this was a work at all?
No, I think
they messed up.
I'm going to tell you, I think this is, it may be a far-fetched theory, but this, I honestly think, ties in with Andrade, his dismissal in the interview that he fucking gave, where he just scorched them. I mean, he burnt them worse than
you guys
a certain manager did to Ronnie Garvin with a fucking fireball.
Your head burning when we were making sausage.
Oh, it was fucking worse than that. And my arms. Hey, I got hair back on my arms. The head, not so much. But it was a pretty nasty interview. And when I say nasty, he didn't give a fuck. And he signed with somebody on his little Twitter thing.
Yep.
He has a picture of him signing a contract, and you can't tell who it's with. And I can guarantee you it's not going to be with Impact. No. Am I saying? I bet I would put $100 it's with AEW.
And I'm all right with that.
And Vince, people can say, oh, AEW's not on his radar. Well, it's not on his radar because he's fucking nuts and doesn't care.
Yep.
But shit like this, is Andrade a really huge star?
He could have been.
No.
I think he
could have been. But now we all know Vince does shit to, what do you call it? Punish significant others when their other half fucking leaves. How many times?
Aleister Black is paying for it right now.
Just going to say that. Yep, you took the words out of my mouth.
Go back quite a few years to AJ Lee and CM Punk.
Yep.
CM Punk tells Triple H, I don't have to work with you. You have to work with me. And he's gone 3 days later. And then AJ Lee's getting, beat by fucking Bertha Faye and Fabulous Moolah in fucking Spider Lady costume and shit.
Spider Lady just came back to the WWF.
Yeah.
They resurrected her. But seriously, Vince is a spiteful son of a bitch. And I don't think she's not one of those ones that are, what do you call it? She's
Words
not
are hard today for you.
No shit. She's not privileged. She's not treated any fucking different as far as being, shaded, whatever you want to call it, protected from his fucking vengeance and, the way the asshole that he is.
Yeah, I agree, Chad. Yeah, no, there's no one really that's, in this day and age, protected from Vince's wrath, I think. Most of all, Charlotte. I was going to ask you, you mentioned Aleister Black. What's his wife's name? The tiny little lady?
Well, you know her by Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega, that's it. Yeah, what a great faction that was, because speaking of Charlotte, and speaking of her guy, Andrade, what a great faction that was. And then someone made somebody mad, and let's just not even do away with it. Let's make it not make any sense. Let's make it so that people, and I think it's intentional. I think it's intentional, which makes me not want to tune in to anything that scumbag does.
All right, well then let's talk about WWE first right now.
Perfect.
They broke up the Hurt Business going into WrestleMania.
Fuck.
What in the hell are they doing? Like, one of the best things on Raw.
It was the best thing.
The hottest.
Yeah.
It was. Thank you, Chad. It was. It absolutely was.
There was nothing that compared. MVP, I swear to God, that guy he dropped 30 years off of his life. He's like 30 years back. The promo, he looks, when he's talking, he's serious, and he believes in what he's saying.
Yeah.
The athletes across there. And I don't fucking, okay, are they giving Lashley somebody to beat the shit out of for 2 weeks and then going into WrestleMania? But what are they turning Lashley into now? They're turning him into a fucking putz. And he's going to go into WrestleMania looking like a fucking buffoon, one step above Braun Strowman in his fucking neo-green shit.
By the way, his promo was, oh my God, his promo was like me trying to talk after I drink a 12-pack. It was so bad.
But they're just, and here's
or
first
you
WrestleMania.
tonight.
First WrestleMania prediction. Are they going to have Drew beat Lashley?
Yes.
I absolutely 100% feel they're going to have him beat Lashley.
Yes.
And the match is going to be less than 10 minutes.
Yes. I would. I don't know. I think they're burying AJ Styles, too. Like, AJ and this Almas thing, I already see that there's going to be a crack there. That they're not winning the titles against New Day, and AJ and Almas are going to be the ones fighting out of this. What do you do with them being tag team champions? What do you do with AJ as a tag team champion when... Alright, we're going to round up all of WWE in general. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship isn't even going to be defended at WrestleMania. It's going to be defended the night before in a 4-on-400 match of tag teams that are thrown together. So that title right there is like, well, the tag team division in SmackDown sucks. We're not even putting you on WrestleMania. This Andre the Giant Battle Royal was an extra filler match for WrestleMania. We're not putting that on. That's going to be on next week's SmackDown as well. So why do we have to have 3 nights? It's essentially 3-night WrestleMania. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm at a loss, man. I really am.
Realistically, I think it's them having to fill
time for the cable companies. That's it.
Not for the one that they're on Friday. I don't even Fox. They have to fulfill the contract. They have to have. That's why the fucking title belt was changed a different color when they first went on there. Not to be rude, but if you look, the nationalities, all nationalities are represented on there. I think that's why they're doing it. They're going to, if we're not going to have them on WrestleMania or in a prominent position on WrestleMania, we're going to throw it to fucking together on SmackDown.
Yeah. Riddle's a complete idiot. I don't know if he really forgot his line or not when he was. By the way, the best people you can have in a backstage promo, no disrespect to either of them, is Riddle and Asuka.
The worst people.
One's main language is not English, and one is a surfer skater guy that's riding around on his.
Not even a fucking powered scooter.
A scooter from the 90s.
And I don't...
Here's 5 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, that's just great.
So he's standing there
and forgets
with
his line.
his scooter thing all up in his nutsack, looking at Asuka like, hey, do people in your country like scooters like mine? As he's balancing his, cock and balls on his fucking scooter, and she's looking at him like, what the fuck? And that's bad. If there's anybody that you don't want looking at you like you have no fucking clue, it's Asuka. And he forgot his line, and he just fucking walked off. And he walks off. I wish he would have tripped and that thing would have been shoved up his...
This is not the first time. If you watch some of his backstage stuff, I think he just forgets shit.
Yeah, he really does. So that's Raw in a nutshell. SmackDown was a giant promo for next week's show. There was the Uso-Daniel Street fight, which, whatever. Carmella against Bianca. They brought Carmella out to the ring. Oh my God, Carmella's coming out. When they came back, they did 4 promos. Had Bianca come out and then went to another commercial. This was 10 minutes of nothing. Supposedly Carmella just hanging in the ring. Hey, yeah. When we come back, we're actually going to have the match this time.
Okay. Corey Graves looks like a fucking drunken hobo from the streets of New York.
He's from Pittsburgh.
So when Carmella was coming out, who was his squeeze, I think he probably fucking... I'll just say he was happy. And then let's talk about the match.
Oh,
okay,
right,
Carmella, the best, throws Carmella's on the ground, sorry, and the best goes to do her fucking flippy yippy move. Carmella's laying on the other side of the ring before she even puts her hands down for the first part of her move. She still goes through it, still fucking flops over, and then looks around like, what a mister. And whoever the commentators, Carmella rolled out just in time. No, she had enough time to order a fucking pizza.
Wow. What is going on?
I don't know.
Are their hearts just not in it? Like, I hate to harp on this again, but is this Peacock deal just like, look, we're done. We made it. We can finally kick our feet up. People always said like Vince needs to back away and, but when he's on, say what you will about him. The guy wrote he wrote the stories of our youths, of our childhood. What the hell is going on there? It's like no one gives a shit anymore.
They have their money. They got their big money deals. They are banking on, and I dare anybody to make a viable argument against this. They are banking on the wrestling absolute fucking diehards. The people that are lower than the ones that watch the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega type. They are banking on them fucking getting Peacock just for the live shit. They're banking on that. I just don't think Vince gives a shit. I don't think he cares anymore.
But let's, on that same note of Vince doing whatever he's doing, I'm questioning even some of the talent. And I'm not saying that we, the three of us, can do it, but I think some of the talent's heart isn't in it. This going along saying, why don't they have some kickback? Riddle being a complete idiot. The guy could be amazing. He could be. I don't like that gimmick. Let's do this.
But look what happened with him. Case in point.
I know. Or R-Truth doing the stupid shit that he does.
Brock Lesnar, Riddle was talking shit and everything in his MMA, and he'd like to get with Brock Lesnar, and he kept talking shit. And Lesnar stopped after one of his fucking matches and said, dude, I will never work a fucking match with you.
I just don't know.
I don't think they don't have any options. I mean, okay, so they don't change the character and you quit. So Vince can sit you for the entire length of your fucking contract plus 3 months. Look at Selena Vega.
Yeah, right.
She didn't. She said, I'm not giving up my the third party talk,
Twitch and stuff,
Twitch and shit like that. That's how I connect to my fans. They fucking fired her because of that. Charlie Caruso. Now the truth's fucking coming out about that. She didn't want to give up ESPN.
Yep.
They fired her because of that. She put out a tweet this week saying, she's got the full-time position with ESPN and, told her fans when they can see her and everything like that. And she still wants the wrestling fans to contact her. And her last part in the tweet was, I guess some people don't appreciate talent.
Yes! That's my spot. That's all I wanted to, yeah. And it's like, everybody at WWE cannot go to AEW and Impact. There's a flux of whatever. I don't know.
You've got 3 viable options for them to go to. Okay, Impact, AEW, and Ring of Honor. But the thing is, if they have a long time left on their contract, Vince will sit their asses to fucking spite them.
I know.
And so
then
they don't
forget
have,
about them.
Why not stay active? Maybe not relevant, but why not? Oh yeah, AJ Styles. Yeah, he's still alive.
Right?
That's exactly what they're fucking banking on, and it's a shitty fucking way. This goes beyond stupid storylines and Triple H humping a fucking corpse and Seth Rollins fucking digging out Rey Mysterio's eye and.
But I still watch it.
This goes beyond that shit to, okay, you don't want to fucking work. You're going to sit for years. What are they going to do? This isn't, Dusty Rhodes Midnight Rider shit.
Yeah.
Where they can throw on a fucking mask and go and do stuff anymore.
I know. John, thoughts before?
Yeah, and they don't have a star anymore, guys.
They don't.
They've been saying this for years. It's really come home. The Randy Ortons, the AJ Styles, those guys are they've been around a while. They don't have a mainstream star. There's no Rock. There's no John Cena. There's no Hulk Hogan. There just isn't that carryover star anymore.
No, that's a great point too. So that's our thoughts on the WWE this week.
It's rough. It's rough.
It really is.
The only thing good came out of WWE, and I'll say that just to give them a little I don't know, plus, and it's not even fucking wrestling shows, is saw some pictures of The Miz and Maurice and their kids and Becky Lynch and Seth and their baby, and that was the only thing positive WWE related this week.
Family stuff.
That was family stuff. And I'll say this, and y'all call me a sap. I don't give a shit. I always thought Becky Lynch was incredibly good looking. Her as a mom just adds that much more to her. She is so beautiful as a mom. That's just my input.
It's a nice take, Chad. That's probably the nicest thing you've ever said on the show. All right. Let's tell you about Collar and Elbow, because we're going to take a break. Hats, hoodies, tees, eye patches, vests, masks, stickers. I don't know what else they're in the works of making. But we have a promo code, John. What's your promo code?
It is Can Crushers. Capital C in Can, capital C in Crushers. Spell it all as one word if you want to save some money.
Chad, how much you saving?
10%.
And John, what's that about?
About shipping when when it all evens out.
Yeah. Here comes Al Snow to tell you more about Collar and Elbow, and then we'll be back to talk about AEW, NXT, and I don't know what else in the third segment, but we'll get there.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
What's up, guys? This is Jared Fritz, official for the NWA, and you're getting Ref Fit with the Can Crushers podcast.
Welcome back to Can Crushers. It is I, the English professor, joined by your host, Mark the Mark Martinez, and Chad, the glorious guru. We've covered the main brands. We're on SmackDown.
Did we?
Let's stay.
Did we, though?
Yeah, I suppose
We tried to cover them like fucking Buried Alive tried to cover them.
Let's stay with that company and talk about their best brand, the NXT. Can we say the NXT? That's like Bret Hart saying the WCW. His excuse was he was Canadian. No one said the WCW except Bret Hart. I don't know why the hell I just said the NXT. Sorry. NXT. Just good old NXT.
All right. Let's actually break these ones down, because I enjoyed this show, and AEW was good.
Yeah, both were good. Both were good.
Grimes against Strong. I really like Cameron Grimes anymore. I don't know why. When he first came out, I'm like, oh man. But I've always liked Trevor Lee as a person. I've seen him in IWC, other brands. But the Grimes thing was working on me, and now he sold me. What are they doing with Roddy? Chad, I'll ask that first before John dives into the match.
I don't know. He's like, they used him to kind of set up the Adam Cole turn a little bit, and now he's...
See ya. He's leaving.
Yeah, and I hate to say he's such a talent, but he doesn't have the mic skills, and he's not a
star.
He's not a upper card star unless he's with somebody. He's like a supporting cast. He's always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
Listen to this guy today.
I'll be surprised if this is it for him. I don't think it is. I think, it's all part of the story. The match itself was very good. But obviously, as far as the Undisputed Era goes, they're building up the bigger story between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Roderick Strong does need something. And I guess they're trying to show, like, this group meant something to him as well. as much as it meant to O'Reilly, that maybe his heart is broken in all this, but they pushed it a little too much. Like the armband, that Grimes is reaching into his tights like Macho Man reaching into his tights, really overselling it, and he pulls out like this wristband and this armband. I think I wanted to see Roderick Strong either absolutely lose his shit over this or it not bother him at all. But this sort of in-between thing was kind of corny to me. It was corny to me. Cameron Grimes gets a big win because Roderick Strong is distracted by a wristband. Kind of silly.
I got nothing on this.
I got nothing.
That's Roderick's thing. Yeah, you want to see one way or another emotion-wise, either stupid or you want to see him, lose his fucking shit. Okay, I'll take Pepsi instead of Coke.
Yeah, that was kind of it. That's it, yeah.
Nice, I like that. A lot of promos and videos kind of broke up the show. You had a cross-training video. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, but I also bring up the other one. The Tommaso Ciampa and Walter promo for TakeOver. I'm actually really excited for that. Anything on either one of those guys?
All great promos, all of them. I enjoyed Karrion Kross's the most, where he tells us like, hey, you might think I'm known for this, but I could do this, and I'm going to use the knees and the elbows, but then I'm going to use the power wrestling. Essentially, I'm going to kick the shit out of you 6 different ways. And here they all are. And then his girl talks in satanic tongues, TikTok, Fall and Pray. Perfect. Those guys, the two of them, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, are gold. They don't know how to make a bad promo.
Is it just me, or of all the wrestling that's going to be going on next week, and I'm not talking about SmackDown or Raw, the events, the TakeOver and WrestleMania and that. TakeOver is
going everything.
Yeah, the 3 matches that there ain't a fucking match at WrestleMania that I really care about. The 3 matches that across the board I'm looking forward to is Cole and O'Reilly.
Yep.
Ciampa and Walter. That's going to be a brutal match. Walter reminds me of who's that goofy fucking Russian that was in WWE years ago? They tried making him real fucking big and everything. He ended up...
Ludwig Borga?
No, it was a different... It was a different guy. He ended up tag teaming with somebody in a comedy tag team. He even... I can't remember who the fuck he challenged.
What kind of era are we talking about, Chad?
Like 10, 15, maybe 15 years ago. Unstoppable Russian. He was going to fucking challenge for whatever titles, and I can't remember. They ended up just kind of screwing the pooch with them and then putting them in
why don't I know this?
Basic matches. I know you'd know. I'm sorry, I can't think of the guy's name. But that's who Walter reminds me of. But Walter has fucking talent.
Oh, yeah.
The dude, when he wants to, can move, or this is going to be a brutal match. We've seen what Ciampa can do,
right.
Period. We've seen that in the past. Walter is just coming into his own. You've seen a little bit in NXT. If you watch the UK a little bit, you saw a little bit more. He's a brutal, big son of a bitch. He's like he reminds me of Blackjack Mulligan.
Yes.
The older version of Blackjack. He's a big son of a bitch. He's not jacked on roids or anything like that. He's just going to knock your teeth down your fucking throat and then step on your head.
I think he's got the hardest chop in the world right now. You're both searching up the Russian guy.
Vladimir Kozlov?
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay. There you go. Wasn't around long.
But NXT, like I said, those 3 matches, and then Balor and Cross, I don't care about WrestleMania.
No.
There's not, what? I mean, I'm sure we're going to do our predictions, quick predictions or whatever. Maybe. But is there anything exciting on any show? other than those 3 matches that you're looking forward to?
NWA, the Pope's defending the title, the TV title against Fred Rosser, which is Darren Young. I like the Pope.
I'm talking the big.
I just told you how much I love NWA again. I mean, let's not knock it.
And I can't say anything because all I watch is New Japan now.
Yeah.
For the most part.
We'll get to it, but Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez, I think, will be good. Yeah. They mixed it up about 4 or 5 different times during the course of the show.
Well, let's go to it right now. I mean, we don't have to go right that line for line. She got thrown through anything and everything. Through a wall, this, that, and the other thing.
That drywall was like when we'd get a pay-per-view at my house and get carried away and somebody would go through a wall.
Yeah. Bill McDonald's head.
She put Shirai through the drywall.
I think
Mom's going to be pissed off. But go ahead, sorry.
Just her jumping off the top rope, taking out everybody, and Gonzalez being down so long for that. That's where I thought it went a little bit too far. Like, she literally, Io literally got her ass beat all night.
Yeah.
And just to end it with her jumping off the top rope, taking out 24, 36, 48 people. And
KR truth.
And Gonzalez being down that long, I'm like, you got your ass beat all night, and that's the one thing you do?
Agreed. Yeah. They had, I remember looking, because it seemed like it was going on for a while, and it still had 18 seconds. And she still just had to stand there and act like she's flailing her arms or beating drums and screaming. I think they may have hit that spot. They obviously wanted to go off the air with it, and they did. It would have been a little more effective if there were 10 fewer seconds left. I mean, that's incredible timing that you're talking about right there. But had they hit it perfectly and it goes off, and she doesn't have to keep screaming and acting bananas, it might have been more effective had they hit it closer to the end of the actual show.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Legado del Fantasma, Santos is holding an open challenge. I like seeing Tyler Breeze come out. I thought, oh wow, we might actually get something. We got an alright match, and then the tag team. Everything just came out for the tag teams, which, if you didn't know, Imperium had to drop the titles. Which one of them's hurt?
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
Is it Oni? I think it's Oni.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think Oni's hurt, so they took the titles off of them. Phantasma, MSK, or the Grizzled Young Vets will be the new NXT champions after TakeOver.
Yeah. I like Tyler Breeze coming out here. I thought it was a fine match. I'm big on Breezango. They had a short run as champs. Since there are no champs, I would have liked for them to have added something to this singles match. So, if Tyler Breeze can sneak a win, have Regal come out and say, okay, you guys want to make this match? And it could set something up later for Escobar's title. But for now, let's just say we'll throw Tyler Breeze in here. And if he can pick up this win, he and Fandango are added and becomes a 4-way match for the title. Because then it gives them something to fight for. Escobar doesn't want another team in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This was mostly meant to push the tag team title scenario, as you mentioned, MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans. But I think Breezango, those guys are just too good to go back to floundering like they were before.
You're one of the only people I know that's probably pretty high on them.
I think they're very good.
They're great wrestlers, great tag team, but they're one of the ones that have been
comedy shtick for too long.
They've just been rehashed and tried to make them, bigger and better, and that's fine once maybe twice, but they're like on their 15th fucking reboot. They would be a great tag team to leave WWE and go any fucking where else. They would fit in anywhere.
I agree. The way talking about John's homeboy, Austin Theory, possibly winning this Battle Royal.
The Andre the Giant Battle Royal?
No, the Austin Theory Battle Royal. No,
that's what I said, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
The Battle Royal that's going to happen to give 6 people the chance to be in a gauntlet for next week, which it was a little long-winded to get to what the hell is going to happen. Nonetheless, great promo for them. It leads into the women's match, which leads into the ways women getting a title shot against the horrible NXT Tag Team Champion Women's Division.
Yeah, and this match wasn't that great.
No.
It really wasn't. We saw, like, their opponents were the Gigi Dolan and Zeta.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you notice that it was on and off in that much time? That quick, they put their name up, it faded, it's right out. I tried pausing it a couple times. They do mention who they are when they are in the match and everything. But if you're not listening, you don't know who these two are.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was by design. They had some nice individual moments. Lorraine and Hartwell, obviously, the better team. They did better tag team stuff. But this was about them challenging for the tag team championships against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart.
And then you have this is where some of the EO stuff's going on. You see Roderick walk out. Zoe Stark's taking on Gonzalez. I thought they gave Zoe too many big moves in this match. I thought they're going to have Gonzalez lose before going into NXT without EO coming out or anything. I was shocked. But then she takes the win.
Yeah, and then I guess they sold it to you there, where they made you think for a second Raquel was going to lose going into a big match. But this was just another match. They all kind of seemed like this, with the exception of Grimes and Strong.
Did you say Patooey?
I did. Words are hard for me today, too. Yeah.
Okay.
This was another match that just seemed to end as soon as it kind of got hot. Like you said, Zoe Stark had some nice stuff going on, and then boom, Raquel catches her in midair for the one-arm powerbomb, and then it's over. A lot of this seemed rushed. I think they wanted to get a lot in, before it's the go-home show. But a lot of it seemed rushed.
FaceTime. They wanted to get everybody FaceTime. Hey, this person's going to be here. We're going to, have them fucking wrestle the referee and carry an egg on a fucking spoon match or something like that. That's what this felt like.
Okay. John said he was a big fan of the Karrion Kross promo. The Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly promo was amazing this week. I love this. This was my favorite promo of the week.
Excellent stuff. Yep.
These guys are the best, two of the best in the business, on the mic, and obviously in the ring. This is the one match that I'm looking forward to the most out of that card, out of all the wrestling. Week. Yeah, this match here, because these guys are going to beat the shit out of each other. It's going to be a brutal knockdown. It's going to be a slobber knocker.
Oh.
Nice.
JR Barana here.
Go down the list of historical betrayals. It doesn't matter. At some point you'll hear, we weren't friends. And then the other person will be heartbroken and say, how can you say that? We were friends. It doesn't matter how old that story is. If you've got guys or women who can deliver it, it's going to be entertaining. And here we go again, with one guy saying we were never friends. And the other guy saying, how can you say that? Of course we were. That's the conflict. And this was a brilliant promo.
Yeah.
Casey. Best turn in history.
Best turn in history?
Yeah, the one that broke your, maybe not broke your heart the most, but the one that you didn't see coming.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't see NWO Hulk Hogan coming, even though weeks earlier, honest to God, my brother Dom said it's going to be Hulk Hogan. I thought there was no way.
That's a big one. I know this one's hokey. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty.
Yeah.
That was...
You saw that coming, no.
I did not. Not at that time. No, I didn't. I'm being 100% honest. I'm not as old as you.
You didn't see that?
that one you kind of seen coming a mile away. It was just
not a 10 miles away like you see now.
Yeah. Other actually witnessing, watching, I got to go with the Hogan NWO. But the one that always comes to mind that seemed so personal, and you can see the match, you could see it on the network, and you could find it on YouTube, was Larry Zbyszko turning on Bruno. Was there anything more personal than that? Bruno not wanting, I'm not going to hurt you. And Zbyszko's like, fucking,
give it to me.
Give it to. And then Zbyszko turning on him and just beating the living shit out of him. I was like, Zbyszko's lucky he made it out of fucking Pittsburgh alive after doing that. We
saw that story again. We just saw it Wednesday when we get to AEW.
Yeah.
With Cody. We'll get to that, but they're simple stories, guys. They still work.
Casey and Caden take on Xia Li and a partner. The partner never comes out. I was intrigued by Bei Ying Ying Yang, whatever the monster that sits in the throne's name is. What did she blow in her face? Or I had to rewind this a minute. I'm like, what did she just do? Like, I was so pumped up to see Xia Li come out and be amazing. She's still not doing anything for me, but they might be grabbing me a little bit because Caden Carter died, apparently.
I don't know what the hell happened. Me neither. Xia Li still has not grabbed me. She's had ample amount of time. And Catanzaro and Carter are just, I don't know what they're doing.
Nothing.
Nah, yeah, I'm not into this story. I'm just not.
I think the partner that didn't show up was in the back with Riddle talking and fucking lost track of time.
Good. Let's move along then. We get to the Battle Royal for the entrance to next week's Gauntlet, and there's 11 people into it because Roddy left. He was supposed to be in it, so now that we have 11, the final 6 get to be in the Gauntlet, and then after that, when they get tossed out, they come back in reverse order for the Gauntlet next week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I didn't buy Roderick Strong not wanting to be there. Earlier in the show, you see him leave, and the ladies running after him with the microphone. Hey, where are you going? That was ridiculous to me. I know he lost to Cameron Grimes to kick off the show, but I didn't believe for a second that he was packing his bags up and going home.
No.
Does he... Is this a setup for TakeOver in Colin O'Reilly's match? Does Strong figure into the match?
I think the other one does, because we haven't seen him in so long.
Bobby Fish.
Yep.
I think Strong figures into the match and costs O'Reilly the match. I could see Fish doing something, trying to help O'Reilly, because those guys have been together as a fucking team since
the dawn of time.
Like 2008, I think, or something like that.
That's the dawn of time.
Yeah. I think that's how that could play out.
So we skipped over the Gauntlet because that's how much we really cared about it. The Battle Royal.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. They tried to feed us some of the different things going on, like Ruff and Swerve Scott. Kushida and Dunn had a...
I like that. I'm excited for that match.
Yeah.
The 6 people in the Gauntlet next week are Swerve, Ruff, Loomis, Grimes, Bronson Reed, and LA Knight.
LA Knight. And he won it. It was down to him and Loomis and Grimes, right? And Grimes tried to buy his way. They were like, no. That guy still hasn't figured out it doesn't work.
No.
Nobody's willing to sell their spot. These are prime spots.
They are.
He's not the $1 million man, though.
He is.
Everybody had a price for the $1 million man.
Nobody cares about Grimes' money. Nobody cares about it.
No, grimy money.
I'd take it.
I'd take anybody's money.
I would take anybody's money, especially Jason McDermott. I took a lot of his money Friday night. Just in alcohol. All right, let's talk about the AEW then, if we just talked about the NXT. Christian Cage taking on Frankie Kazarian. I thought this match could have been better. I've always have been a fan of Frankie. I don't know. Christian didn't look super impressive to me. And maybe that's what they wanted me to think.
For not going for 7 years, I thought he looked all right. It wasn't his best match I've ever seen, but I thought he looked solid. It was a fairly typical AEW style match. A lot of false finishes, some high spots, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting much of anything out of him, and for me, it kind of blew me away.
Oh, wow. Where are you? Can you break the tie?
It was, I don't want to say passable. It was better than passable match for him. I was impressed with that fucking bump he took over the top rope and off the fucking ring apron. That looked fucking bad. That reminded me when Michaels fucked up his back at WrestleMania on the table. I think it was against Austin when he hurt his back against Austin. Yeah. That bump reminded me of that, and I was like, oh, holy shit, I hope the hell he's all right. And he took it like a fucking champ.
We had a lot of promos in this show as well in the first hour. Darby has one against Matt Hardy. Jade has one. I'm
that bitch.
Yeah. I like Jade. I really like Jade. I do. Chad, nothing?
No, I'm looking for something here.
Okay, you look for something. Cody against QT, John. This is one you want to talk about.
This was really enjoyable. You have Arn Anderson as a special referee. This group needed something. I know their complaints said everybody just turns on Cody. Everybody turned on Hulk Hogan back in the day, so I don't see the big deal. This group needed something, and this was the right way to pull this off. Chad had just talked about Bruno saying, I'm not going to hurt you, and you see Cody's style. He wasn't overly aggressive. I like this one part where QT Marshall went for a single leg pickup. So you've got one guy's leg, and you're trying to, like, bump him down, and Cody just reverses that. Like, he gets his own leg free and then takes QT Marshall down. So there was, like, there were some embarrassing moments where it didn't matter what Marshall did. Cody had the answer. Then he's holding the ropes open for him to get back in the ring. Even the commentary told this story where JR says, you know, guys, where's Marshall's entrance? Like, look at Cody's, all the spectacle and everything. Where's Marshall's entrance? They wrestled the right kind of match. You see the turn coming. I didn't see it coming like that. Boom, he just decks the referee.
I love that.
That was brilliant. Yeah, this was well done. The beatdown that ensued afterwards, you see the division in the group. They bloodied Dustin, and they almost terminated Cody until, what's the little lady's name? She came running out.
Red Velvet.
I was going to say Raspberry Beret, but that's a song by Prince. Red Velvet. Yeah. Red Velvet.
Little Red Corvette.
Red Corvette.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain, 1999.
That's it, yeah.
When Doves Cry.
Well, there was one other one that I really liked, too.
You don't have to be rich to be my girl.
Yeah.
Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. Yeah, that one.
What'd you think of this? Not the Prince singing.
Just a good, if it was anybody but QT Marshall, I could have been a little bit more
actually
into
liked
it. But
it was QT.
It looked, I mean, it's a character that you're trying to throw right into the spotlight like that, and that's what just hurts. But take that out of it. This was a really good segment.
Did you want it to be Brandon Cutler? Did you want it to? We don't want to see it be Dustin yet again.
No, I want to see Dustin and Cody beat the shit out of each other again. I just want to see Dustin. You're not fucking listening. Cody, you're my brother. You know, they need to just beat the shit out of each other again.
I agree. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky trying to be on the same page of that was
Page?
No. On the same level? No. They're trying to be together and grab the brass ring again.
Like Chuck and Billy together?
Oh God, I hope not. I like Ethan Page. I've always been an Ethan Page fan. Excuse me. I don't know. They've already lost track of what him and Scorpio Sky are doing right now. Like, I thought, I don't want to see this. I want to see these guys fight. That's it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that one.
Moxley against Cesar Bononi. First and foremost, I want to talk a little bit about Cesar Bononi. This past week, I believe it was his wife that needed like a kidney transplant or something. It's on Twitter and everything. They had somebody set up. There was just some lines that they couldn't get crossed. Maybe some money or something. AEW shot out this tweet. Everybody nonetheless, his wife ended up having the surgery and she's fine.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good news.
She was really in a bad way. They needed, and I'm not getting the whole story. I should have really did more research on this, but like Tony Khan shot out a tweet, then Tony Khan, and then Cody did it, and it linked everybody together because let's not pull brass tacks. Cesar Bononi, who the hell is he? But AEW helped, and the wrestling community did as well, and all is well with his family. That's great. That's what I want to say. Mox just beat the shit out of him, though.
Yeah, Bononi's a big guy. I don't know that he was a full head and shoulders above Moxley, but he kind of towered over him. And this was a dominant win. He even hit the paradigm shift on one of his corner guys. I didn't catch his name. I don't know. But and then he just choked him out. And that looked like a really good choke. I know for the last, maybe 20 years, pro wrestling has kind of borrowed from the UFC and MMA. But I always thought a choke was a choke, guys. Like, put him to sleep. Give him a sleeper hold. But the reason the chin lock or the sleeper hold, the reason you check is because you don't want it to turn into a choke. So why was this choke legal?
The rear naked choke's taking the world by surprise now. Everybody's using it, though.
Yeah.
Fucking Roman Reigns is using it. You know it must be a simple thing to do.
Oh, we brought his name up, so that's enough for him for today. Team Taz, they're going to explode. They're going to explode real quick, but they don't have no beef. They have no beef with anybody. I like that Ricky Starks is being the outspoken one. He needs to come out of this, continue to stay heel, but he needs to come out of this group as the bastard and run.
Yep. He's a star. And I think he'll be, I don't know how long Taz speaks for this group, but I still think to a certain extent, Starks will be the face of this group.
He should be. Best on the mic, in the ring.
Yeah.
I think he comes out of it as not a heel, not a good guy, but just, I'm tired of this stupid shit going on. And that's about where, I think he comes out like that.
MJF and his stylist in the bathroom and in the inner circle attacks. Great. You didn't like this.
All right.
I know you didn't.
The
like
one
this.
fucking thing that was coming across to me the whole time with this was I was reminded of the shit that's going on with Deshaun Watson, the ex-Texans QB, and all the harassment shit. For some reason.
Why did that come
I don't know, because it was a stylist thing in MJF. That's where my mind went with this. That's how fucking lost I was at this point.
Oh my God.
I love this.
I know. I did too.
Yeah. The Pinnacle, they took the sign down, so it wasn't the Inner Circle's office or locker room anymore. Now it was theirs. But then they found themselves surrounded, and all shit breaks loose. I loved it. I knew MJF's head was going in that toilet.
Oh, yeah. As soon as they went in, MJF was getting a swirly.
Yep.
Next match, I could have given two craps about the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid against Omega and the Good Brothers. Mox and the Bucks come out after the end to set up the match. How did Mox and Bucks get on the same page all of a sudden? Instantly. Boom.
Yeah.
This shit makes me want to cry. I don't want anybody teaming with them.
I don't either.
Especially Moxley. I mean, if you want to put some jackass like Orange Cassidy or somebody like that with them, yeah, I'll poke more fun at them. But, man, not the guys that... This is nothing more than fucking a rehash of Triple H attaching himself to everybody that was hot. That is the Young Bucks trying to find something to pull themselves out of the fucking cellar.
Yeah, sort of along those lines, it just strikes me as all the big guys wanting to play together. That's it. I can't get into anything Kenny Omega does. I just can't. I liked when he was tag team champion with
Hangman,
because I like Hangman. I can't get into the Good Brothers. I wasn't into this match at all, and I for the love of God, I cannot stand Callis, Mean Mark Callis, whatever the hell his name is.
Don.
I can't stand that guy. He smacks one of the Young Bucks.
I'll root for him doing that.
This is one of the things AEW does, you know, we saw it with NXT, with former members of the Undisputed Era. We saw the history between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. AEW tries to tell us the history of these guys, but it's always the history of Kenny Omega and that goddamn group. We get it. The Bullet Club. I've had it already. I've had it with Omega and Impact Tag Team Champions and Callis and
I didn't want to go into this, but I'm gonna fucking go off on this. Kenny Omega, the sweeper. Y'all know I fucking hate him. You know, this shit of him. I don't even know how to fucking put it. He's not good. And then he gave an interview where he was talking about the New Japan champion Kushida, and he said that he's not that great of a wrestler. He's a organizational champion. You know, he's a yes man. And I'm like thinking, you motherfucker, nobody in the U.S. would know who you were, you Harpo Marx looking motherfucker, if it wasn't for New Japan. And you're going to shit on them now because they don't want you coming back. They didn't want to resign you because in the last 30 years, their ratings, and remember, to put this in perspective, this was way before the fucking pandemic.
Right.
You're talking like a year and a half before. The past 30 years, Kenny Omega was the lowest rated New Japan champion. Their ratings were at their lower point. To put that in perspective, what that means, that is like the WWE when Kevin Nash was the fucking champion. That's how bad their ratings were. And then you're going to dog the organization that made you like that? Why? Because of what they supposedly did to you and your two little fucking midget brother friends who they wouldn't put past the third card on the fucking match because nobody could take them seriously?
Yep. And he couldn't be more off the mark about Kushida. Are you kidding me?
Right. Britt just doing a promo about Elevation. What? She does a promo about a TV show and she kills it.
Yeah.
Such a bitch, but so good.
Yeah.
I say it every week.
We say it every week.
But she she looks like she's having so much fun.
Yeah.
And that flipped the switch for her.
It did.
But she could...
Go ahead.
Everybody loves her. You know, we had and I'll say this, and I hope nobody gets offended. We had some idiots that gave her shit in IWC.
Right.
These were the same idiots that like guys like fucking Jock Sampson, but fat bastard. They gave her shit, but she was so lovable. She was so centered around people and everything. And it's funny to see her as a bitch because it is the perfect fucking thing for her.
Yep.
And her throwing this challenge out, anybody, she wants to be the face of the women's
in AEW.
In AEW.
Stop it.
She is. And I think that's disrespectful to the women's champion. But at the same token, Britt had to come back around. She had to do a complete turnaround of her character.
Yeah.
Now if she was at this point a year ago, she would have the women's championship. Now that she's coming back around, who else is going to win that women's championship?
And Thunder Rosa's win doesn't count, she said.
Right.
It was a non-sanctioned match. And the way she just reminds her, it was non-sanctioned. So it doesn't count. But I did want to mention Rebel. Let's not take anything away from her. The chemistry between the two of them is perfect. They could finish each other's sentences. They're so in tune with what the other's saying and thinking.
Look at how much we love the promo by her, right?
Yep.
Nyla Rose and the Bunny take on Ty Conte and Shida. There was way too many people around her. This was a lumberjack match, essentially, with the Dark Order and whatever the hell, Matt Hardy's personal peripheral office people, or whatever the hell this brand's called now with him. Way too many people out there for this match.
Did I miss something? Who wrestled Nyla Rose and beat her in a one-on-one? That was Ty Conte.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the fuck did that match happen? Because I feel like I must have been smoking dope or something, because I don't remember this tag team match.
That was last week's match.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have watched it this week. Got them mixed up because I never seen the tag match.
Because the Bunny gets the win.
Yeah.
Now, they're pushing her now because she wasn't involved in the Eliminator. Blah, blah, blah.
I kind of like them pushing her a little bit. I like Ty Conte's win last week. I thought that was fucking great over Nyla Rose. Very brutal knee strikes in that. This match, the only thing I got to say, they need to rename the Bunny's finishing maneuver.
You don't like the rabbit hole?
Too many bad thoughts come to mind where she's concerned in the name of that move. I'm just going to say, and I say that jokingly, I'm not being sexist, but she's absolutely gorgeous and going down the bunny hole that...
Go ahead, John.
I like seeing Ty Conti get the hot tag. I think she's getting pushed too. To your point, it's nice to see some different women get pushed. They're being given chances. You know, you might think she's the one who would get beat up and Hikaru Shida would jump in there and clean house, but it was the other way around, which was a nice twist. And it gave us an opportunity to see Ty Conti do some things. I like watching her from when I first saw her in that women's tournament on, was it Mae Young Classic? I think she was in.
Yep.
She's come a long way. I like what she's doing. You're right. This was a good tag team match. Maybe a little too much going on.
Ty is, and this is my heart of hearts is telling me, Ty is getting the push that Anna Jay was going to get. But since she has the issue, she is taken over as not really the face of the women of the Dark Order because Anna Jay's name is brought up. But I think this would have been Anna Jay's spot. Well wishes that she comes back, and I hope her and Ty have a cool little segment. This next thing was a complete shit show.
Do we even have to discuss Monday Night Raw?
But
I'm sorry, we're on AEW's main event.
But it had me laughing the whole time. And if for anything else, I'm happy for two things.
It's over.
That Trish Statlander's back. I was pumped about that. I've always been, since we started 2 years ago at WrestleCade, I've fallen in love with her. And Sue drove Trent back to the arena.
Yep.
Why didn't Sue just run over whoever was getting close to the van? She freaked out when she was in a van. She could have just ran him over, right?
That's a bit much, though. No.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't want to go to jail and shit.
Yeah.
Not like kill him, at least just bump him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it on AEW, right, with the golf cart. Go ahead.
And if
golf cart in a van, no.
And if Tony Khan wants to auction any of those arcade games off that were legit there, our email is cancrusher69@gmail.com. Send me the link. I'd like to maybe get that Donkey Kong one. Or,
Donkey Kong?
Yeah, Donkey Kong. Or maybe a Pac-Man, something like that. I have them on Yo-Droid, I really do, but I still want a arcade game in my house.
I don't want to blow it for you here, Mark, but I don't think those were real arcade games. I don't know if you saw Miro pick some of them up.
No, a couple of them were real ones. I think the other ones. No, I did. I was looking at them. Trust me, I paused.
Yeah, I believe you. No, because he lifted a couple of them. And I'm like, those are cardboard cutouts. There are no electronics in that thing.
Right? Yeah.
Or it could have been like the ones from fucking Walmart that you get for $200.
But they're not as cool.
I don't know.
But this was just whatever. I don't care if you want to talk about it or not.
Miro almost bent her windshield wipers.
That's when she should have ran him over.
Yeah, that was a bit much. He ran after her and I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do? And then he grabbed the windshield wiper and tried to bend it.
Right.
What a bastard.
Windshield wipers are expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Chad's got nothing.
No, I've been past about the women's match. One thing, this wasn't on the Wednesday show, but John Moxley and Bill Collier's match.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Collier looked great. And we've been praising that forever.
Somebody has him as champion. Yeah. And I'm not talking about that dweeb Justin Plummer either.
No. Justin Plummer.
So where can one see his match?
On YouTube, John.
Okay. All right.
If you type in or watch anything on the old YouTube, AEW Elevation or AEW Dark.
AEW Dark usually has between 10 and 15 matches every week.
Yeah.
And Collier is on next week's against Kingston?
I think so.
Eddie Kingston?
That I want to see.
I believe that's who it is.
I believe so, too. I think so.
Palace
is down there now.
Down there. The other two guys, one of the other two was announced for a match.
Was it Cole? Kata?
I think it was Cole is announced for a match next week.
See? IWC, guys. IWC Network. Only $9.99 a month. Go to IWCWrestling.com and you'll be able to see Bill Collier, Wardlow, Andrew Palace,
Britt Baker,
CM Punk,
and
Elias.
And when you need a bathroom break, there's Jock Sampson. You can go take a shit while he's in the ring.
All right. So that's wrestling for the week. I do have some stuff. We didn't do a Love 'Em While We Got 'Em last week, John, because you weren't here. Because we had to put that on the shelf.
Odd things?
Odd things when we come back. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Hi, this is Julia Lynn, a.k.a. The Dime Piece, and you're currently listening to the Can Crushers podcast. I guess you should pay attention because, they asked me to be a part of it.
And welcome back, Can Crusher Nation. It's I, the Glorious Guru, along with Mark the Mark, and our diseased friend, John the Professor.
Wow.
I'm sorry, John. I had to get it in. You're in a better mood. You're looking better. I got to pick on you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's love from him, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicely. That was actually nice.
Yeah.
All right, so I have one thing I want to talk about, random thoughts and everything, and then we'll do Love 'Em While We Got 'Em last, okay? Yeah? All right. Finally, after a year and a half, it comes over to the Nintendo Switch. Retromania is out. Guys, this is a fun freaking game. It came out the 30th. I've played a few hours already. It's been a busy weekend, everything, so I didn't get to dive into it. I want to start, the 10 pounds of gold in the story mode. I just played some one-on-one matches. The first one, I got my ass beat. Bad. So, give it some time. If you get this game, give it some time. You do need... It's not the smasher kind of game, kind of like they said they were going to do, where you can smash some buttons, everything. But it's also not a 2K game where you have to, you personally stand on your head, use your toes to play the game, hope and pray that Buddha comes down and gives you a wrist lock. One of those things that you have to do like 16 different things just to get a wrist lock. There is the movements in it. The DLCs are not out. They're going to make sure it's on all platforms and working well first before they drop the DLCs. But it's fun. It really is. I am going to be spending some time later on today after this is up before we head to the mother-in-law's to eat. So I do want to give that some time. I'll give you some more reviews next week, and maybe I will win the 10 pounds of gold. Still not sure who I want to do it with. Do I want to win it actually with Aldous? Somebody else would have the title. I like Aldous having it. I've said I want to do it with Nikita Koloff, clearly. I'm going to do it with a couple people. Yeah, I'm just excited. It is a fun game. The graphics look great. And it's weird. We had him on the show begging and pleading to Retromania to get into the game. Now, he's not a playable character, but Daredevil Dave Dahl made it in this game. In one of the arenas, he is sitting by himself where you can, roam around and, the signing autographs and everything. All these other tables have a lot of people around him. He looks like Virgil over in the corner, sitting by himself. So he did make the game. And we have been kind of reaching out, talking to him about coming back on and talking about being actually part of the game. And maybe we can help push him to be a DLC of a ranking of 25. Because he can't, if he's sitting by himself already in the corner, Dave Dahl, I don't think you're going to get huge rankings for in the game, right?
Probably not. Yeah.
No, probably not. John, do you have any, I know Chad's scrolling through stuff. Do you have anything big?
Yeah, we mentioned near the top of the show that my brother moved, and he came to see me before moving. I was sick, so I didn't want to get too close, so we talked at a distance. But one thing he had for me was from you, Mark, and it was this Piper's Pit box. Now, what came in this? This came with, it was a Roddy Piper package, right, that you got from Kelly. It had, a crackable coconut.
Yep. You didn't get that.
Yeah.
The belt buckle, a pitcher, a shirt, sunglasses. Chad, you were here when I opened it, a pin.
Yeah. So, obviously, he kept all that. Rightfully so. That was an awesome gift from Kelly. But what Mark gave me was just the box itself. Which,
what a
you
dick.
can laugh if you want. I love it. No, it's great. It can be used with the figures for a Piper's Pit. It's plaid. And it's got, the pictures in the back from the Piper's Pit. It's got, the crest with the lion on it and some pictures of Roddy Piper wearing his Panther shirt and some cardboard cutouts so that you could set up chairs.
Oh, that was in it, too, and I didn't want those either.
Yeah. So this is awesome. Probably later today I'm going to set up a Piper's Pit. I've been watching some old ones thinking which ones I want to reenact. I'm going to do him and Andre the Giant.
Oh, nice.
Where Andre, lifted him out of the chair because he kept making fun of him, saying, I understand if the questions are too hard, big, giant body, teeny-weeny little brain. And Andre was like, enough's enough, and, lifted him out of the chair. So I might do that one. But, yeah, this is awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're the only one excited for a box.
I love it.
I figured you'd yeah, great.
Now I feel bad for picking on him.
What?
It's like the man. It's like I kick him while he's down, fucking with him, and you send him a box, and he's happy about a box.
Imagine what would happen if he would get a huge Charmin box.
He's like a fucking. You get cats. You throw cats or dogs. You throw buy them expensive gifts or gifts at Christmas and stuff like that, and all they want is a fucking box.
Have you met mine, right?
Yeah, that's John.
Yeah.
Well, your gifts doesn't last with your dogs. They just tear shit up. That's like John. He's like, just give him some boxes, put some pretty wrapping on it, or...
And he's excited.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the box.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Chad's bringing it back down, apparently.
Oh, no. This, just a couple of odd things in the world of wrestling. Kurt Angle, it come out this week. Kurt Angle had a interview with Forbes magazine. Multi-hour interview, and, over tons and tons of topics. But two of them I wanted to bring up specifically that he talked about. He talked about Chris Benoit. They asked him about him. And he said, as a professional, Angle said he is the most intense, best wrestler Angle was ever in the ring with. He was like, there was nobody better than him. And I kind of thought, well, he's got a lot. That's an arguable point where Benoit was concerned. But then Kurt lost all fucking respect. Or I lost all respect for him. Because he compared Kenny Omega to AJ Styles. And he said, oh, I saw Omega.
Your most hated.
I saw Omega.
Biggest man crush.
I saw Omega wrestle in Japan, and he looks so good. He reminds me of how dominant AJ Styles was. I think Kurt's taken too many fucking hits to the neck and head.
He won a gold medal with a broken fucking neck.
I think he won it without a fucking brain, too, evidently, after this one. But you can't compare those two. But, and the other one, y'all remember Sean Daivari and Hassan, the, what do you want to call it? The Iraqi characters that were in shortly after 9/11. Y'all remember that just Angle just kind of fucking dropping?
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden in that? Sean Daivari talked about it this week in an interview, and he said that he wasn't comfortable doing it in the first place, but then he saw how the fans kind of reacted to just his looks, and he kind of wanted to get back at the fans a little bit, and that's why he went into the angle, kind of took it a little personally, but he said the reason that whole angle was fucking canceled and both of those guys were gone was because UPN, who was airing SmackDown at that time, sent WWE, these characters, these people do not fall in line with what we want on our show or what we want on our network. Either get recast them, either get rid of them, or you're in violation of your contract.
Wow.
And that's what drove those two out of the WWE for a couple of years before Daivari came back in the cruiserweight division. I thought that was kind of interesting that back then somebody leveraged that against McMahon, and it kind of makes me wonder how badly were they hurting back then for ratings and stuff like that they let the network bully him that much.
But that's not really bullying, because in all, again, being communications major and, graduating and everything like that, that just shows you that one is a brand, WWE, and yes, they are a business, but UPN is, at that time, had a million brands underneath them.
Well, I get that, but I'm just, McMahon would usually put up more of a fight, and I just wonder, was business
there was money involved,
even worse
that
then that he cut those, because they, regardless of what you think about it, McMahon's always done shit like that. Wrestling, I'll say more McMahon, but wrestling in general has always, to some degree, mimicked real life and base characters. For God's sakes, they turned Lex Luger patriotic by having him hip toss Yokozuna on that ship that time.
Right.
They could practically do anything after that. But it just makes me wonder how much did we not know how bad WWE was hurting at that time? That they were like, we can't even rebroadcast, redo them.
See you bye.
They're gone. They're off the fucking air.
Yeah. That's what yeah. John, segment your time.
What? Segment your time.
Holy hell.
Segment your time, that be it will.
Yeah.
Yoda.
Love 'em while we got 'em, this is called. I thought you were Yoda, so I was Yoda. This is called Love 'em while we have 'em. It is a segment where we appreciate someone while we still have this person with us, rather than when it's too late. Perhaps he or she is no longer with us. So Chad, I think, is bringing a name to the table today. Is that correct?
He's looking.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'll be honest, people. I'd forgotten about this and that my turn had come up. Man, who do we go with on this one? Here's a good one. He's not active anymore, but he was hugely active in the late 60s, 70s, and 80s. I think of Stan Hansen and what he brought and the stars that he pushed. And I think of his contributions.
John, you want to go first with Stan Hansen?
Yeah, sure. The Lariat. My wife is absolutely disgusted by this guy. I was watching some WCW, and the tobacco that he was spitting.
Missy Hyatt.
My wife was just so disgusted by this guy. And then I showed her a shoot. He is a true Southern gentleman. He really is. He is one of the nicest guys. And he worked stiff. The rumor has it that he wears glasses. And obviously he didn't wear glasses in the ring. So he didn't want to make it look bad. So he threw heavy shots because he wanted to make sure it looked good. Because he couldn't see all that well. I don't know how true that is, but that's the legend. But the guy fought who's who. He had a very good match even with Hulk Hogan in Japan. Guy was well respected all over the world, including Japan, specifically Japan. But I will say what stands out for me about Stan the Lariat Hansen, truly playing a character. What you see on TV to an extent is not what you get. The crazy off the wall tobacco spitting redneck. This guy was a true gentleman. Watch an interview with him. He's really soft-spoken, really well-spoken.
I'm going to echo that because that's actually what I was thinking, John, about how meek this man is. Meek the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah, to an extent.
He is. He'll tell you about the business. He loves to talk, but he talks like low.
He's like
a grandpa.
Grandfather. He's like a great grandfather.
Yep.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's right. No, that's exactly where I was going to. He's like a grandpa. He wants to tell you the stories. And John said it. He has wrestled. Were you in Who's Who in high school? Did you ever get that?
I was.
I was too. 1 year. No. I just lost my own train of thought because I'm an idiot.
There's more reasons than that.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot more. But yeah, he's wrestled the best, and the cowbells, and the lariat that I always say when we talked to Nikita, he had, the sickle was great. He had it first. And then JBL had it. So there's a lot of people that have taken something from Stan Hansen. Great guy. Just an overall great guy. I've not read any dirt or anything, but
everything you guys talked about, the soft-spoken, if you want to see some good interviews with him, the Hannibal
has them.
Hannibal has them. Everything like that. The memories that I have is him breaking Bruno's neck. Fucking up a body slam is actually how he broke Bruno's neck, but they played it off like he did it with a loaded lariat. John, the rumors were, and he talks about this in the interview. Yeah, his sight was bad. People fucking hated going against him because when he'd throw that clothesline, he was seeing, double, triple fucking heads, and he was aiming for the one in the fucking middle. And that goes to, you remember how tough and what a big son of a bitch Leon White Vader was. He knocked Vader's eye out of his fucking socket in Japan when he hit him with one of these clotheslines. And Vader's eye was actually hanging out of the fucking socket. Not like Rey Mysterio's eye, which was gouged out of his head. Yeah. But no, his eye was out of the fucking socket. The Bruno feud. Bruno comes back. That's one of the ones Bruno said it was one of his, minus getting his neck broke accidentally, it was one of his favorite feuds because Bruno was a big guy. He wanted to be physical. Hansen was a big guy. He was physical. I think of Hansen and Brody, Bruiser Brody, some of the matches they had against each other, you got one guy with a fucking 10-pound cowbell and the other guy swinging a fucking logging chain. And then, we're tired of beating the shit out of each other, so we're going to team up in Japan and beat the fuck out of everybody.
Decimate Japan.
Inoki, Baba, Jumbo Tsuruta, I can't pronounce Tsuruta. Just beat the fuck out of everybody in Japan. They even, and to show you the respect that the wrestling business had, the Road Warriors loved going against Brody and Hansen.
Because they didn't know any better either.
Yeah, they just get the shit beat. They didn't give a shit. Hawk, who never really talked about a lot of people glowingly, talked about Hansen. Obviously this was years ago before Hawk passed away. In interviews, he said he was the nicest guy outside the ring, but man, when you get him in the ring, you better mind your fucking P's and Q's and watch him, because he'd come with that, swinging that fucking cowbell, or come with a clothesline from the side. He's a huge family man. See that in the interviews. I just always remember he was, and you find this out afterwards, he was exactly what pro wrestling should be. In the ring,
character.
He was the character. And, the spitting tobacco, I remember that. Missy Hyatt going into the room and Stan Hansen coming out in a fucking G-string out of the fucking shower, and Missy Hyatt being disgusted. And I remember his bull rope match with Luger for the U.S. title. Him beating Luger for the title a couple of months before. Just that he was a good guy. He is a good guy. Probably on the bucket list, the top 5 I want to meet before something happens.
Yeah,
to him.
Yeah, that is all very well said. One other quick thing, Ric Flair, in the utmost respect, said in this day and age, everybody ducks clotheslines. You didn't dare duck Stan Hansen's lariat when he called for it, if you knew it was good for you. Cheers to being here, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Cheers to being here. Normally this is where I'd be like, all right, guys, let's do kind of like predictions and everything. We're not going to do down match card predictions or anything like that, but let's actually talk a little bit about NXT this week. All right, again, Monday night's a normal Raw. Tuesday, the Hall of Fame show. Guys, I don't care. I'm still Mark for that. I love, the Hall of Fame is watered down, but I think this is a time that they do get a couple minutes to actually talk. I enjoy the Hall of Fames. So I will, that's on my list to make sure to sit down and watch Tuesday night. And then Wednesday and Thursday, again, NXT TakeOver, Bow and Pray, Stand and Conquer, what the hell it's called. I don't know. It's TakeOver. Friday, SmackDown, and then Saturday and Sunday. So, all right. We know we're all in on Cole, O'Reilly, Finn, and, Cross, those matches. We're pretty much all in on NXT for the three of us. It's going to be, we're watching it for sure. What do we think comes out of NXT? Do we get a new champion? Does Cross take the title from Finn? That's how we're going to do our kind of predictions this time, because there's way too much to do predictions, and we have like 10 minutes.
No, I don't think we see a new champion there. I do think we see, obviously, new tag team champions because someone's going to get crowned. I don't think we see a new NXT champion. Can I make one other prediction?
Yeah.
I think we see a new women's champion.
What about, all right, well then on the second night, Gargano has to defend against the Gauntlet guy too. Does Gargano lose the North American?
No.
No.
No?
Hook or crook. He's going to make it through. That's the Gargano way.
It's the way.
The way. Cole beats O'Reilly. Finn's going to win because this is going to set up Cole going after Finn in more than a 12-minute match on TV. If O'Reilly wins, O'Reilly and Finn again, I think it sets Cole up.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
I agree with John, though, new women's champion, too.
That's across the board then for all of us. New women's champion. New tag team champions, who do you have, John? MSK, the Grizzled, or Legata?
Legado del Fantasma.
Man, I gotta go with Grizzled.
I'm going with Chad. That's my pick. I thought they were going to win the Dustage class. I think this is a Grizzled time. Do they have it long? No, but I think they give them a little bit more of a push. I think Cole wins, and I agree with both of you. As much as I'd like Cross to get the title back, I want to see Cole and Finn tear down the house one more time.
Yeah. Yep.
Again, we're not going to talk about SmackDown or Raw at this point, but anything on WrestleMania, we all said Drew's going to win the title, right?
Yeah.
I'll be disappointed, but that's what I see happening too. Yeah.
Edge, Bryant, or Roman?
God, not Roman. Edge.
I hope not Roman. Oh, son of a bitch. I gotta go with Daniel Bryan.
I think I go with Bryan too, because then Edge gives us one more match, and that's where Edge gets the title from Daniel at whatever next pay-per-view is. I don't whatever. Tag team titles don't matter in WWE, so we won't talk about them. Any other match that you guys... I'm interested, because that's me, what they're going to do with the Firefly Funhouse. I really am. I don't know why. But is Randy going to die? Is Randy taking some time off? What can happen in this Firefly Funhouse that Bray's burnt to a crisp? So what, does he get moisturized and come back as... a normal human being right now? Where does this go? Like, how long is Bray... This is the question I really mean to get to. How long is Bray this fiend like this anymore? There's not much more we can do with a burnt person in wrestling, right?
Yeah, agreed. I don't know.
Anything with Alexa Bliss makes it watchable. She's in. Otherwise, I could give a shit less as far as this angle. The one off match I'm interested in seeing is Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Kind of interested in seeing those guys go at it. If they give them a little bit of time to have a match versus, pulling something stupid.
John, anything that is tweaking your trigger?
As much as I've complained about them, I'll be curious to see what happens. Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. What do they have going on?
Are you effing kidding me? In a cage. You care about that?
Do I care about it? No, but it stands out as a major story, I guess.
my twist on all of this is at Royal Rumble, they said the winners of the Royal Rumble will be main eventing WrestleMania. So there's 2 nights. We know second night, the main event is Roman, Edge, and Daniel. Do they pull the women and let them main event the first night, or?
I think they do. I don't think there's any other way that you can.
So it's got to be Sasha and Bianca main eventing that night.
I believe so. I think that's where they'll go with it. Why not?
I'm for it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, their wording this whole year has been that. If they don't do it, I think shit hits the fan. And I think we get a new women's champion.
Yeah. I see that coming. They've pushed Bianca way too hard. Lately, they've made Sasha look like too much of a
putz
bitch. A putsy bitch.
Yeah.
And, I think Bianca wins the title, but I'm just going to throw this out there. If she doesn't, it wouldn't surprise me after the fucking match this week. And with McMahon the way he is. She didn't look good in that match this week against Carmella.
No.
I could see McMahon pulling something and having Sasha win the match. Where's Charlotte Flair gonna
bounce back to?
Yeah, where is she gonna? She's gonna be there, and we're not talking, hosting it with Hulk and fucking Titus O'Neil. She's gonna be in there. Do they add her to the match all of a sudden?
No, I think it goes back to, and I'll let John talk about this here in a second. Ripley beats Asuka, and that's where Charlotte comes and says, "That was my spot, bitch. Let's fight again."
Yeah.
Yeah, where does Charlotte fit? After we talked about her earlier today, earlier in the show, where they thought she was pregnant and she's not. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is an opportunity because they feel like they owe this to her, or they've got to make this up to her. But somehow she gets catapulted into this title picture before long.
Yeah. So, all right, next week we'll cover everything but Sunday's WrestleMania. Let's just do it at that, because whatever. We can just wrap up WrestleMania part 2 the following week.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because we'll have a lot to talk about. And we'll actually talk about some of the speeches and stuff. So make sure you guys do your homework this week. I criticize speeches for stupid things. So make sure you watch them.
You criticize speeches, but
I can't speak.
You
That's
talk
why.
like a Cajun.
Whoa, we have
whatever.
fans down there.
Somebody back in Deliverance type shit and stuff.
Speaking of dueling banjos, I came across this, and this is the way I will go out and let you guys wrap up the show. If you guys are at if you like bluegrass at all, any type of bluegrass, look up Hayseed Dixie on Spotify. They have remade a lot of our favorite 80s songs into, bluegrass. I loved it. I listened to them the other day as I'm driving the old garbage truck the whole time. It puts a different spin on Take On Me, Paint It Black, songs like that with a little bit of twang in it. Hayseed Dixie.
Interesting. I think I'd enjoy that.
You would. Remember, John.
Just because you're trash, it doesn't mean you can't do great things.
It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.